Claude 4 Opus just destroyed voice agent workflows as we know them. Imagine this, instead of spending hours on NAN, connecting nodes, and writing prompts, you lay out your vision in just 2 sentences and get back fully functional, powerful workflow setups. And that's not a theory, I did it myself in just 10 minutes. So in this video, I'll show you how to deploy nearly production-ready workflows faster than you ever thought was possible. By the end of this video, you're either going to be ahead of the curve or stuck in the past. So to explain what we're doing today, I'm going to use a combination of some words and images to help you understand this. So the 2-second version of how we're actually going to do this involves 3 main steps. The first one is prompting Claude for workflow creation. This is just going to be your regular system prompt, but optimized and specialized for heavy and advanced tasks like workflow creation. The second step will be the creation of a knowledge base within Claude. This involves nothing too complex. All you're doing is just uploading some files I've provided to you. And then the third and final step is setting up an MCP server with GitHub, Docker, and Warp. Now, if you've never heard one or all 3 of them before, don't worry, because this is a very low-tech setup that you can do if you just follow the steps provided. And by the way, I would like to give some credit to Mark Kashif for actually bringing this idea out in the automation space and making these kind of crazy setups possible. If you'd like to see his original resource library and video, I've linked both down in the description so you can check them out. And with that, let's move on to the first step. Prompting Claude. What you're going to need is a Claude subscription, which costs $20 per month and is relatively affordable. So the first thing you should go ahead and do is purchase a Claude subscription, which at the minimum would cost only $20 per month. And once you've done that, go ahead and download the desktop app, because we will not be using the website version to set this up. If for any reason you would still like to try this for free, I've actually attached a step-by-step guide on how to do that in my resource pack linked in the description. So go ahead and check that out. But if you're still with me, when you download the Claude desktop app, you should be greeted by this screen. From here, you're going to go to the left-hand side and click on projects. You're going to click create new project. I've already set mine up, but I'll still walk you through the steps. The way you're going to get access to the prompt I have included over here is by going to my resource pack, which once again is linked in the description, and copying this prompt for completely free. Once you've done that, just paste it into here and save it. What you're also going to do is download all 13 files that I have provided, which can be found along with the prompt. I've spent quite a bit of time compiling these resources for you, especially this document with over 4,000 lines, which took me around an hour to assemble. And because this is all free, I would appreciate if you could click the subscribe button, like this video, and comment what you would like to see in the future. So once you have the prompt and knowledge base set up, we are good to move on to the next step. Technically, at this point, we could already try crafting a workflow, but this setup is not nearly as powerful as what we're about to explore. What we're about to explore is called Docker. You don't need to know much about software, development, or anything like that to set this up. What you're going to do is just head to the download page of Docker and get the desktop app. Simultaneously, what you're going to do is download something called Warp. Once again, you don't have to know much about what this is, coding, or anything development related. So just download the desktop app for now, and we'll go from there. And the last thing you're going to download, I promise, is called Node.js. We do this because we need Claude to be able to understand the tools that we give it access to later on. And it needs to be able to run JavaScript outside of our browser. So that's exactly why we're downloading it, because we're using it on desktop apps. Once you have Warp, Docker, and Node.js all installed and set up, what you're going to do is head into Warp and copy paste the following singular command, which I've put inside of here. Once again, the way you get that is by going to the resource pack and accessing it there. If in any case you get errors, what you're going to have to do is simply allow Warp to figure it out by itself. And thanks to Mark Kashif, the easiest method to do this is to just repeatedly hit tab and enter each time to troubleshoot the issue. Once that's done, you're good to close Warp. The next thing you're going to do is go back inside of Claude Desktop, and what we're going to do is hit those 3 lines in the top left corner, hover over File, go to Settings, go down to Developer, and hit Edit Configuration. After you hit that, you should be transferred to your computer's files, and what you're going to do is click inside of this Claude Desktop configuration file. And what you're going to do is just go ahead to my resource pack and copy the JSON structure that looks like this. What you're going to do is paste in the entire block and make a few minor adjustments. The first thing you're going to do is get your NAN API URL, and essentially what that is just the NAN cloud link that you use. For example, on the login page here, my cloud app is called inspireai.app.nan.cloud. And what I'm going to do is just grab it and add an HTTPS before it. And what I'm going to do is just grab this link, add an HTTPS colon and 2 slashes, and paste that back inside of here for your NAN API key, which you definitely should not be showing anyone like I am to you right now. You're going to access it by logging into NAN, clicking on your profile icon in the bottom left corner, going to the side over here and clicking on NAN API. In order to access the NAN API, you will need a paid subscription. So make sure to get that if you haven't before moving on to the next step. And over here, you should see the ability to create an API key. What you're going to do is just create the API key, set the expiration date, click save, and copy that API key. After that, you'll just paste it into the same place that I did. You're going to click save, and after that, you're going to restart Claude as well. Before you're logging into Claude, also make sure that the Docker desktop app is open and you successfully see that a process with a weird name has been initiated. Once that's done, open up Claude and check if the tools have been successfully connected. And the way you do this is by going over here in the chat and clicking on the search and tools icon. Over here, I can see that my NAN MCP Docker is connected with 39 tools, and then I have 3 sets of 4 tools that are also connected. If the same thing is showing up on your screen, congrats, you've set it up. And from here, what we can do, confidently go ahead and test this setup out. So once again, go to the left hand side, click on projects, click on the workflow builder project, and make sure to set the model to Claude Opus 4 because that will give us the best results. Also, click on the tools icon and enable extended thinking. This is really where its advanced capabilities and reasoning come into play. So enable that and see if you can create a workflow. And the way we're going to choose that use case is by spinning a wheel with a bunch of different businesses on it. I hope it lands on Alex Hormozi, but let's see what it gives me. Okay, so it gave me HVAC, but I'm going to choose Alex Hormozi anyway. And the way I'm going to quickly spin up a workflow is by actually dictating my vision. Cool, so over here it transcribed my vision exactly. I got a bit too carried away with that whole idea of an inbound voice agent, so I didn't provide too much information about how the actual workflow would look like, but what we can actually do is tell it to just reference the examples within its knowledge base and create a workflow based off that. Great, now that I've added that, we can finally launch it. Right now, it's going to be in its ideation and then execution phase, so I'll step away for a few minutes and then come back when it's ready to show you the results. I'm back. So as you can see here, it went head first into crafting a JSON for our workflow. It has validated the workflow, and then it has given me a summary of its key features. So this is looking really good, but we will know it's actually working when we paste in the JSON itself. Now, I could show you my NAN workspace, but to show you that this is completely legitimate, I'm going to copy the JSON that Claude has directly provided to me and then paste it into a blank NAN workflow. So in the top right corner, I'm just going to copy it here. I'm going to go back to my NAN, and now I'm simply going to paste in this workflow. So as you can see here, there's a nice workflow that has been created. Yep, we have around 9 nodes here, and it seems like it followed my directions correctly. I asked it to send the assessment and summary results to email and SMS, and that's exactly what it did here. As we can see, this is a send email node, and then this is a Twilio node for sending SMS messages. The lead is being stored in the Airtable. We have a webhook response, which is going to go back to the voice agent and allow it to update the person. And here we have the extraction of business data using code and the main AI agent that's going to function as the advisor. What's really cool is that the AI agent actually included a very nice text here for us. It has given me potential target audiences that I can show this to, their characteristics, how it resolves their bottlenecks, and much more. And what it does is it even includes actionable insights for me. So it tells me, for example, to price based on value and not on time. And then it reminds me to focus on one main transformation. This has truly amazed me even though I've been using it for the past week. I would highly encourage you give this a try as well. Because quite simply, all that is left for me to do is simply configure this webhook inside of Vappy, the voice agent platform I use, map some variables, and configure some of the nodes like my chat model, Airtable, email, and Twilio. And with that, I just want to say a few more things before we wrap up. The reality is that manual voice agent workflows and AI workflows overall are not exactly the most efficient approach you can take. And Claude 4 Opus really shows that these types of setups are the blueprint for the next era of automation. The faster you learn to leverage this, like my agency Inspire is already doing, the further ahead you'll get. And if this video simply helped you see what's possible, make sure to subscribe and comment what you would like to see in the future. And if you're looking to level up the game of your business in 2025 and beyond, definitely book a free consultation using my calendar link in the description. I will not only talk with you and develop a custom voice agent strategy for your business, but for a limited time, the first 3 business owners to sign up, a free blueprint that they can actually implement inside of their business, which also comes at completely no cost. And with that, I appreciate you for watching until the end, and I'll see you in the next one.